So, for the purpose of valuation of a five-star hotel using the discounted cash flow, remember, valuation can be of the hotel as a property and or the valuation can also be the company owning the hotel. So, if we have to do the valuation of a hotel, the valuation of hotel can be done number one, a hotel as a property, and number two, the valuation of the company that owns the hotel. So that's point number one as to how this valuation will be done. As regards to valuation of the hotel as a property, there are six steps, and we will discuss all those six steps one by one. There are six steps that would need to be taken for the purpose of doing the valuation of the hotel as a property, and thereafter, three steps will be there to do the valuation of the company owning the hotel, right? So what we are talking here, we are talking in terms of valuation of the hotel as a property, and number two, we are also talking in terms of valuation of the company that owns the hotel, and that's where three more steps will need to be taken. Let's begin with the six steps to valuation of hotel as a property. अब देखिए, जब हमको एक होटल का वैल्यूएशन करना है, होटल प्रॉपर्टी का वैल्यूएशन करना है यूजिंग द डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड, द फर्स्ट स्टेप दैट वी हैव टू फॉलो and that is to ascertain explicit forecast period and the terminal period also known as continuing period. क्या मतलब है इसके कहने का? इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर हमको डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड यूज़ करना है तो हमको डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड को यूज़ करने के लिए उस होटल की लाइफ को दो पार्ट में सेग्रीगेट करना पड़ेगा. एंड व्हाट दोज टू पार्ट्स आर, the first part is referred as explicit forecast period and the second part is referred as terminal period, or it is also referred as continuing period. So that is the first step that we have to implement when we are doing the valuation of hotel as a property. Now इसको जरा समझ के लेते हैं कि इसका मतलब क्या है. What is the meaning of explicit forecast period and the terminal period, and why do we have to do this division of life of a property where we are using the discounted cash flow? Why do we have to divide it into two components, and that is what we must understand. तो सवाल यह है कि हम डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड क्यों यूज़ करते हैं. अब देखिए, when you are using the discounted cash flow method, what is the meaning of discounted cash flow method? Meaning, as we discussed earlier, the meaning of discounted cash flow is कि जब अगर आपको किसी प्रॉपर्टी का, किसी एसेट का, किसी कंपनी का वैल्यूएशन निकालना है यूजिंग द डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लो मेथड, व्हाट डू यू नीड? You need cash flow of that company for whole of its life, for whole of its life. And then once you get the cash flow of the company for all the years to come, then you find out the present value. We will come to that little later. अब सवाल ये है कि is it possible to find out the cash flow of a company for all the years to come? And why I'm asking this question? And that is because it is not possible. And why it is not possible? It is not possible because a company that we are trying to value has a life which is infinite. That means what? That means, whenever somebody is starting a business, obviously when he is starting the business, generally, there may be certain exceptions, but generally, whenever somebody starts a business, he is very clear in his mind that his business is going to continue forever, during his lifetime, even after his lifetime also. So that is the philosophy with which everybody starts a business in this country or anywhere in the world for that matter. So if you have to use the discounted cash flow, and the question would come, how would you calculate the cash flow for all the years to come? You can calculate the projected cash flow for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 30, 100 years also, 200 years also, because of using the Excel sheet. But how will you calculate the projected cash flow for infinity? So the answer is, it is just not possible to find out the cash flow for infinity. Now the question is, if you cannot find out the cash flow for infinity, then how do you do the evaluation? And that is where you make use of the discounted cash flow method, or it is known as two-stage discounting, two-stage discounting model. It is known as two-stage discounting model. अब इस जो ये जो टू स्टेज डिस्काउंटिंग मॉडल है, इसमें दो पार्ट हैं. फर्स्ट पार्ट इज नॉन एज एक्सप्लिसिट फोरकास्ट पीरियड, यानी कि वो पीरियड जब आपको मालूम है कि ये बिजनेस ग्रो करने वाला है एट अ सुपर रेट और एबनॉर्मल रेट और एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी रेट और अ हाई रेट. So that is your explicit forecast period. And the period where the explicit forecast period ends, वहाँ से स्टार्ट होता है टर्मिनल पीरियड. तो ये जो मॉडल है जिसको हम बोलते हैं टू स्टेज डिस्काउंटिंग मॉडल, ये मॉडल इट टेक्स केयर द सेकेंड स्टेज जो उसकी है, दैट इज टर्मिनल पीरियड. The model has been designed in a way that the second stage takes care of the cash flow of infinity. Even though you are not able to calculate the cash flow for the infinity, yet the model has been devised in a way that the terminal period का जब आप वैल्यूएशन करेंगे तो उसमें infinity का cash flow automatically आ जाएगा. And that is how you would be able to do the valuation using the discounted cash flow method. And that is the reason why we use two-stage discounting model whenever we are using discounted cash flow method. So remember, the first part is known as explicit forecast period and the second part is known as terminal period. ये जो terminal period है, this part is also known as continuing period. So somebody says terminal period or somebody says continuing period, remember both would mean the same thing. So explicit forecast period का मतलब है high growth and the टर्मिनल पीरियड और द कंटिन्यूइंग पीरियड का मतलब है नॉर्मल ग्रोथ पीरियड. नॉर्मल ग्रोथ पीरियड का मतलब यह है कि जहाँ पर एक्सप्लिसिट फोरकास्ट पीरियड खत्म होता है वहाँ से टर्मिनल पीरियड शुरू होता है. एंड इट इज अज्यूम्ड दैट ड्यूरिंग द टर्मिनल पीरियड द ग्रोथ रेट इज गोइंग टू बी नॉर्मल. So that, friends, is the first step in the valuation of an asset using the discounted cash flow method. In case if you have any question, any doubt, any query, you are please welcome to raise it, else we will go to the stage 2.